ADHD-induced anxiety. Why it happens, what it feels like, and how to navigate it. When most people hear the word anxiety, they imagine a standalone condition, something separate, something that shows up because of stress or because of a specific trigger. But for many people living with ADHD, anxiety isn't always a completely different disorder. Sometimes it's a direct response to the way the ADHD brain works. And for a lot of neurodivergent people, this explains a lifetime of feelings that never quite fit the traditional anxiety box. This is why the idea of ADHD-induced anxiety resonates so strongly. ADHD doesn't only influence attention, motivation, and executive functioning, it also shapes how a person experiences pressure, uncertainty, emotional intensity, and overwhelm. What you're left with is a unique form of anxiety that comes from ADHD, moves through ADHD, and is intensified by ADHD, and that experience deserves proper understanding. A good place to begin is with regulation. ADHD, at its core, is a regulation disorder, not a disorder of intelligence or capability. When the brain struggles to regulate thoughts, emotions, time, focus, and energy, anxiety rushes in to fill the gaps. Instead of filtering information, everything arrives at once. Instead of prioritizing, every task feels urgent. Instead of deciding where to start, the brain freezes. When this happens day after day, the anxiety often sounds like, "Why is everything too much?" Or, "Why can't I start?" Or, "Why do I forget things other people remember without trying?" It's never laziness, it's never carelessness. It's the stress of trying to function without the internal tools most people don't even realize they have. Executive dysfunction intensifies all of this, knowing exactly what you need to do, but being unable to start creates anxious guilt almost immediately. Losing focus halfway through a task can feel like losing control. Leaving things unfinished creates constant fear of disappointing others. Forgetting appointments, messages, or important details becomes a source of dread because it affects relationships and trust. Even time blindness alone can create a low-level panic that lasts all day because you're never quite sure whether you're late, behind, or unprepared. None of these patterns come from carelessness. They come from a brain that struggles with consistency in a world that expects it constantly, and the anxiety grows in the space between who you want to be and what ADHD makes difficult. Emotional regulation adds another layer. People with ADHD often feel emotions more quickly, more deeply, and more intensely than they expect. A small mistake can suddenly feel catastrophic. A misunderstood message can spiral into hours of worry. A delayed response from someone you care about can trigger a wave of fear or shame. This isn't overreacting, it's emotional dysregulation, one of the most impactful and misunderstood aspects of ADHD. And when rejection sensitivity enters the picture, even a minor moment of conflict or disapproval can lead to days of emotional paralysis, rumination, or self-blame. On top of that, the ADHD brain rarely rests. Internally, it can feel like several conversations, worries, memories, sensations, and ideas are running at the same time. That constant internal noise makes focusing on a simple text message feel impossible. It makes thinking clearly a challenge. It makes staying present exhausting. This isn't chaos, it's overstimulation. An overactive, underregulated network trying to manage far more information than it can comfortably hold. Medication can also play a role. For many people, stimulant medication provides clarity and calm, but for others, especially at the wrong dose, it can heighten physical tension, speed up anxious thoughts, or increase emotional sensitivity. This doesn't mean medication is bad, it simply means the type, timing, or dosage needs adjusting, so the benefits outweigh the side effects. One of the most painful parts of ADHD-induced anxiety is the self-doubt it creates. Questions like, "Why can't I just do this?" "Why do I feel restless all the time?" Or, "Why is everything so difficult for me?" aren't just anxious thoughts. They're the result of years spent trying to function in environments that don't support ADHD needs. Over time, this can become an internal narrative that feels like failure when it's actually neurobiology. Unfortunately, ADHD-related anxiety is often misunderstood by others. People may label it as overthinking or immaturity, or they may downplay it as simple nervousness. In reality, this type of anxiety is neurological, chronic, and genuinely overwhelming. It comes from navigating a world designed for predictable, regulated brains, while having one that is naturally creative, intuitive, intense, and non-linear. If you recognize yourself in these experiences, the emotional crashes, the restlessness, the panic in everyday situations, the confusion even after multiple explanations, or the moments where everything feels too loud, too fast, or simply too much, you're not imagining it, and you're definitely not failing. You're experiencing a form of anxiety shaped by the way your ADHD brain processes the world. The most important thing to remember is that none of this is your fault. It's not a character flaw or a lack of effort. It's neurobiology, and once you understand what's happening inside your brain, you can begin finding tools and strategies that actually support it. ADHD-induced anxiety is real, but it is manageable with knowledge, with understanding, and with the right support. Like and subscribe for more neurodiverse content,